Dear Diary, what even is free to play, and does anyone even know anymore? So this is day 139 of my free to play account, as it would be called. So I'm going to grab this real quick. So when I say what does free to play even mean, I'm talking from a content perspective. So obviously, free to play as a player means that you haven't spent any money on the game. Very very straightforward idea. And this is something I've talked about before, is if you are a content creator and you call yourself free to play or you're making free to play content, there's kind of like three different things that I look at as what you could be doing, right? Like you could be giving advice on like how to build teams under like certain restrictions, or like giving advice for champions that people could be using that maybe they're overlooking. There's the option of showing what's even possible is free to play, right? So that the first example is anyone that's basically doing a free to play series starting from day one, working their way through, showing like what their decision making process is on like the champions they're using, what they have and they don't have, and trying to struggle through like making teams that way. That's kind of what some people look for in terms of what can they do with the champs they have. So they're looking for someone that's got a similar roster, trying to do some similar things and seeing how to go from there. The second option is something similar to what Bionic does, and he does a very good job of it. He is a free-to-play player. He's been playing for almost 2 years and showing just how far you can push as free-to-play. The third option is you are talking about decisions in terms of resource management, right? So resource management in the sense of, we have a fragment event going on right now. What should you be doing? What should you be spending your energy on? We know that there's a fusion going to be happening in December. What should you be thinking of now to help you out with that? And I prefer to fall into the third camp, mostly because my free-to-play account isn't too long. Like it's like we said, 135 days in. Now, to be fair, I can do Dragon's Lair, 20 auto, no issue, 100% success rate. I can do Fire Knight, 20 auto, 100% success rate. And I can do Ice Golem, 20 auto, not 100% success rate, but it's very, very close to it. I think all day, I failed twice. And I've done a lot of Ice Golem for the tournament. And then, Spider is 16, and as far as I'm aware, it's 100%, but I probably haven't run enough just to be able to verify that that's 100%. So, all that to be saying, this is not the channel that you're going to come to and be like, oh wow, I didn't realize you could do Faction Wars 21 with those champions, because I can't do Faction Wars 21. This isn't going to be the channel that you're going to come to and say, oh man, I only have X, Y, and Z champions. I've had absolutely terrible luck. What can I do? Because that's not what I'm really trying to do. Now, again, I'm going to have down below, and I talk about him all the time, WSoul13, very, very good written guides. That's the type of thing that he focuses on, right? He focuses on what you can do with a limited champion pool. Now, what I do, again, is just talking about how do you use your resources wisely. And the reason I like to do that, well, first of all, is my background, right? Like, not yet an economist, but I'm an aspiring economist, right? So the whole point there is, how do you use resources wisely? Like that is what economics is. So that's how I view things. Now, that's the only reason I'm bringing this up is I've had some comments very recently talking about, wow, what incredible luck you've had. You've got, let's just look at it, right? Like, I've got Sifi, I've got Solus, I have Tayrell, I've got Miscreated Monster, I've got a Royal Guard, I've got a Cold Heart, like all of these champions, like, wow, you're so lucky. I'm like, yes, I'm incredibly lucky. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying, though, right? Like, and that's what needs to be kept in mind. Just because it says free-to-play content doesn't mean that's what you're actually looking for as a viewer. And I think that it gets confused both directions, right? Like, Bionic has had people say, well, you're not really a free-to-play player, even when obviously he hadn't spent any money on the game. And I'm not, like, talking down about him in any way. I think he's a great content creator and he's done very good things. But it's funny because he is definitely the biggest free-to-play content creator, and he gets people telling him, well, you're not really free-to-play, like, look at your account roster, right? So it's important to remember, like, what you're actually trying to do, because a lot of people that are saying that they're looking for free-to-play content means they're looking for someone to tell them, what they need to be doing in the mid game, right? Like they've gotten all of the beginnings on their account done. What do they need to do now? What's the next things to do? And that's a problem because in Raid, the answer for everyone and every account is going to be different, right? Like just because you have, for instance, a Seeker doesn't mean that you should be leveling him up, even though he's a very, very good champion, right? For my roster, probably not something I'm going to work on for a very long time. Just like I know a lot of people have gotten a lot of good use out of Drakgul. At the moment, I wouldn't get a lot of use out of him, so I haven't summoned him yet. So it's almost impossible to give that sort of individualized advice. But that's kind of what people end up looking for. So it's hard as a content creator to really cater to everything. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say, yeah, this is kind of what I'm doing. I'm just talking about the resources, right? Like, I'm not telling you which champions to use, which champions not to use. I am going to say, like, sure, I'm lucky with the champions that I've gotten, but that doesn't change the fact that I shouldn't be spending energy before the Dungeon Divers event starts for, champion training and stuff like that. Like, those are kinds of things that have nothing to do with the champions, have everything to do with the resources and resource management. With that being said, let's just look real quick where I am. I believe champion training and Dungeon Divers are ending very soon. Champion training, I finished, got the fragments. Not all the way finished, but finished for the fragments, which is something I'm very happy about. Dungeon Divers, finished up to the fragments. I might end up getting up to the Ancient Shard, because I still need to do some more Ice Golem. Artifacts, I need to level up some more artifacts to get these fragments, which I really like. That I don't know if this was because there were a lot of complaints about it being higher for the first one, but it is lower now than the first event that we had for Eligaius. And then Ice Golem, I am going to go ahead and spend my energy to push up to this 2250, mostly because there's not really much reason not to. That's, if you'll recall, these are 5 fragments I wasn't planning to get, but I don't have to spend my energy on anything else for Eligaius events or tournaments, so there's not much reason for me not to. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my energy on that because it's useful for me to do so. So that's really all I have to say. Haven't been doing anything else. All of my energy's been thrown at Ice Golem, like most of you, just to try to finish up that tournament and get the Eligaius fragments. So that's all I have to say. I know it might have seemed a little whiny, a little ranty, but that is just how I feel, and I just wanted to reinforce what this channel is actually about. So thank you for watching. If you want to catch this live, I do start streaming every day, Sunday through Thursday at 6 Central Time, so when the dailies reset. So if you want to catch me live, that's at twitch.tv/cluelesseconomist. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon.